Noel, tell us, what is the Men in Black and your service in it?
Well, the Men in Black is actually, and that's a little something my dad kind of touched on a little bit because actually, uh, Eisenhower visited our hometown to visit my dad, and I came out and drove by the school where I was. They had me out to wave to him, and he saluted. And I asked my dad if I messed up. He said no. He said Eisenhower wanted to see at least one of my boys, and they talked a little bit about being with Roosevelt and then Eisenhower and Truman and all of that stuff. And Truman had signed a, it's called the National Security, 1947 National Security Act, and gave 12 people autonomy. Four of them were originally were like generals and they wanted to do it right. And then the other eight were a mix between industrial and banking and that. And so I was curious about finding out more. And especially after Kennedy's assassination, and I knew Kennedy, we were going to go sturgeon fishing if he didn't get shot. And so I wanted to find out more. So I didn't tell him about my dad being very high, he and holding the Normandy Day invasion records or anything. I wanted to make it on my own record, and I wanted to beat his record. And so I started out right off, more or less competing against my dad. And I told them I was interested in spy work, and they said, well, you got to go regular. So they put me in the toughest commander, Captain Springer, known to be the toughest infantry commander ever, and the highest score out of 100 for performance and 100 for knowledge. The highest score he'd ever given was 37 and a half. And he called me in, and he actually gave me 198.5. I got an RCOM and a presidential citation coming out of basic. So I got them interested in me right away. And when they offered the position, I was ready for it. And part of what made me also ready for it was I tried to tell a colonel when we went to Vietnam that I didn't think we were on the beach he thought we were on. And he landed his brigade on the wrong beach and lost my entire squad. And overall, close to 1,000 guys that I considered my friends and comrades. And so at that point, I was determined to find out as much as I could and try to make everything as good as I could and make it better. So I targeted basically being on top, and being in. I found out a whole lot about them, and there are a lot of fields we'll have to cover there because they've got a lot of fingers.